Beardos, weirdos, boils and ghouls, how are we all doing? So today we're looking at a channel that I've been asked a lot about, like loads. And I've never really done it because they do too many outdoor investigations and they use a DR60. And it's like, the DR60 is pointless. It's a debunk in itself. It was a recalled item. Blah, 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 blah. And then there was a week I was going to do a debunk video, and then Debunking with Doodle brought out a video on haunted finders, and it was fantastic. She pulled the entire video apart at the Ancient Ram Inn. Great stuff. I didn't feel the need to do it, but I keep getting comments. Can you do haunted finders? Can you do haunted finders? But just before we get there, a couple of things. Not too much of a rant. Yes, I have bags under my eyes. Whoop-de-doo. When I do a paranormal investigation video, that's about 60 hours of editing, minimum. On top of that, I have my normal content to put out. I now spend more hours in this studio recording, editing, or out investigating and editing than I have ever spent in any full-time job that I have ever had. The hours I work out here are incredible. You have no idea. And even if I'm not in here, I'm researching in the other room. Just saying. So, forgive the bags. And I'm 42 years of age. Skin doesn't last forever. On to number 2, the community. You know who you are. You've all been kind again. Obviously, we've scrapped the PO box. It's not working. Some things have managed to find their way to us. So, very nice card. We got a card, and this is from Julia, Black Cat Paranormal, who had this sent me this wonderful Groot print that's back there that is now framed. Just saying. She's also sent me these 2 horror Funko Pops. And then Julia and her husband have made 3D printed this for me. Now, they said it's not perfect because they're still learning, but wow. Ring bitch, coming out of the well. Now, as many people know, I've become quite desensitized to horror movies, but the Japanese, South Korean, those movies, they still get me. Ringu, Ju-on, as it, you know, the American remakes, The Grudge and The Ring, they weren't bad, to be fair, but the originals, whoa, next level. That is epic. Now, I've looked up online how I can paint this, so I'm possibly going to try and paint it. Now, even though I can draw, my painting sucks. I wouldn't want to do any damage to it, but, I mean, as cool as it is. So, I don't know, let me know in the comments down below. Should I try and paint this and then, you know, get it displayed with the rest of the stuff from the community? Next thing, Beardo and Mrs. Geek. Hello, thank you so much for allowing me to send you a little something. I very much appreciate your trust in me. Hope all is well. Much love to you both and the rest of the family. I look forward to what the future will bring for us all working together. Thanks again, CRL. The female J from Jay and Silent Bob. CRL is a moderator for the channel. She's been with us a while now. Absolutely fantastic. Very kind, not just to this channel, but other channels that she supports and involved in. And she sent me a box of goodies, and it took me roughly 20 minutes to get into the box because they used gaffer tape to seal it. CRL has sent over these Star Wars Hot Wheels. So we got Star Wars Rebels there. So the cars, the art on the cars is based on the shows or the movies. So we've got Star Wars Rebels, which I've actually not seen. Star Wars The Clone Wars, which I have seen. We have Star Wars Return of the Jedi. The top of that car is sort of the final battle scene on the Death Star, where Emperor Palpatine lives. Very cool. And finally, we have, of the Star Wars stuff, finally, we have Star Wars A New Hope. Hot Wheels. Absolutely brilliant. I've got a Star Wars section over there full of Funko Pops. I've got a box in the garage full of Star Wars figures and ships and stuff. So I'll probably put these Hot Wheels hanging off the shelf that all of my Star Wars Funko Pops live on. Everybody knows one of my pride and joys is this Batman original Corgi toy. And CRL has sent over the Batman Classic TV series Batmobile and Batman. I feel like they've undersold that because Burt Ward's Robin is actually in there as well. I've got Adam West Batman and the Batmobile is like 10 times the size of the other one I've got. That's incredible. And I actually have, or Mrs. Geek has, an Ecto 1 in the same style box and everything. The same company has made it, Jada Toys. So this will go and sit alongside the Ecto 1 on the other side of the room. So guys, thank you so much for the stuff you send in. It's just unfortunate that the PO box is rubbish. Once we've worked out a different means, then we'll obviously tell you guys about it. And to the guy that was like, can't believe people are sending you stuff. Why are they sending you stuff when you have got more money than them? Bit presumptuous. Some people just like to moan. Okay, so onto the haunted finders. We slept in the UK's most haunted hostel, and it terrified us. Now, something worth noting. They don't tell us where this place is, which is suspicious in itself. Now, full disclosure, I've already recorded this video, but for some reason, my OBS decided that the audio from the video needed to be desynced. So when they were talking, the mouths were moving, and then words would come out 40 seconds later. My audio this end stayed fine, but my OBS just cocked all the audio up with the video. The volumes were all to shit, so I've already watched it, and now I've got to watch it for a second time with you guys, which has pissed me off, because it's not very good. Just saying. And in with the video, I'm like, why are they not telling me where this place is? Why not tell me where this place is? But they mentioned a ghost's name, and I found the lady that they say is a ghost. I found her name online, then found the husband, and through the husband found the building. Went to the official sort of website of the building and the history, and there's no, I repeat, zero diddly squat fuck all claims of ghosts at all. Where there are claims of ghosts is on Spooky Isles there and a forum. There is very, very little out there to say that this place is haunted. Especially not the most haunted hostel, and it terrified us. Real paranormal activity. There is a story that haunted finders tell you about of a grey lady running across the grounds outside, hovering against the window, rah, scaring a load of kids silly. The kids all run out, refuse to go back in, etc. I can't find that story online. I can find somebody else recalling the story on a forum, but nobody that was actually there telling the tale. It appears that this tale has just been plucked from the air, thrown onto a website, and then one other website has claimed there's a grey lady there. That's it. That's it. Now, that's not to say that those stories aren't true. Just because I can't find proof doesn't mean if somebody doesn't do a very deep dive that they can't prove it as true. What I'm saying is, to claim this is the most haunted hostel and it terrified us, when there's barely any information about it being haunted, is a bit of a stretch, a bit of a reach. I don't like that. You put in like 39 Degree Street or 30 East Drive or Enfield or Shrewsbury Prison or any of these really well-known haunted places, there's article after article, videos everywhere, very well known. The ghosts are well known. Most haunted have probably been there and faked the lot. Oh, these guys, they found the most obscure hostel ever. Now, this place is a grand-looking Gothic mansion, but it went out of business because it's in the middle of nowhere. Nobody could afford to use the property as it was intended by the guy that bought it in the 1800s that did it all up. It ran out of money, and it's pretty much been a hostel since. Thankfully, because I've already watched this once, I don't have to watch the entire thing again. We'll just get to the highlights. The following video contains real paranormal footage that some viewers may find disturbing. No, you won't. Trust me. So they spend about 4 minutes going over the history, showing off the smallest room imaginable. While they don't claim to be alone in the hostel, they never say that there are other guests there, which is very important very soon in this video. Now, there's a good 15 to 20 minutes of this that is just so stupid, it is unreal. And I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm almost glad the original video didn't record properly to save me the balling of editing it properly.
Sleep. I've been on my tablet. I was watching a couple of films, and I kept getting distracted by somebody on this landing area outside our room.
Somebody is the right word.
And every time I'd unpause it, the footsteps or whatever would stop.
Somebody going out.
That was someone going out, wasn't it?
Someone, yep.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's that side door, that fire door.
Yeah, but why would they...
They go in and out because there's a...
But where are they going after they come... But they must be coming from somewhere to go out in the first place.
There's a... what's the name? A disability wash area.
Where?
On both corridors.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, do you know how that door keeps banging?
Yeah.
Where... Do you know how that door keeps banging?
Yeah.
Where...
A disembodied moan. Do you know what I heard? I heard a chair or something like wood on wood being dragged, or a door. So the door doesn't quite shut properly, but it's got one of those mechanisms on the top to pull it shut, which all of these have because of fire restrictions. Just wood on wood. That's what I heard there. Disembodied voice. But even if it's not wood on wood and it is a voice, they're in a hostel. And later on, they actually prove there's other people there. They don't claim there's nobody there, but they don't say, you know, there are other guests here that we have to be aware of. They do none of that. It's all spooky wooky shenanigans.
What the flippin' hell was that?
It was wood. It was wood on wood.
What was that? What was it?
I don't know.
Now listen to how creaky the floor is that they're on. The whole building is the same. They later on walk across this building, a floorboard squeaks, they think it's a disembodied voice. It's ridiculous.
That was in the room, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was a moan.
Let's get on with it then. Got a creaky floor.
What the what was that moan?
I don't know. It was right here.
That was weird, that came from like...
Now that weird noise, the same thing happens later on, in the exact same place as he steps forward. Now, no disrespect, he's a large man. He makes jokes about himself being a large man later on in the video. I'm not taking shots at him. I'm a large man. I make a lot of noise when I walk around a building. That sound is made again later, but a bit clearer, and it is literally a floorboard squeaking and compressing. It just sounded more compressed there, and they have claimed that to be a strange disembodied sound. But again, even if there was a voice in this place, there are other people there.
So the door down there,
Yeah.
it keeps slamming shut.
That was the sound just behind them that they've completely ignored of somebody coughing in another room.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a... They ignore that, so there's somebody very close to them that they can hear through the walls, and they ignore it.
But someone's got to come from somewhere. Do you know, because we're on this staircase, I'll show you guys on the camera in a minute, but you've either got to come down these stairs to get to it, or you've got to open the other door where you've got the key card. You have to use your key card to open that, don't you?
Yeah.
To then come through that door to then get to that door.
Yeah.
But it's just that door that keeps slamming on its own.
There are other guests there. We've just heard one of them cough that would have the same key card you've got to get in and out of the rooms, etc., to lock doors, unlock doors, turn lights on. That's how these things work.
The key card door ain't opening and closing, and there's no one coming up and down the stairs.
There's nobody walking about because I think they're all in bed now.
That's what I don't understand. Why?
In a hostel, everyone's in bed. Nobody's walking around this time of night. Bollocks, have you stayed in a hotel or a hostel? There's people awake all hours.
It keeps slamming. Shh. Shh.
Are they unexplained footsteps? Now, he hears these footsteps that are very explainable. It's whoever's just coughed upstairs walking around their room, and he points upwards and looks upwards. Shh. But then he draws his attention to the door. Ooh, scary. What's this creepy ass corridor? It's so scary. That's upstairs. Again, footsteps above him. Above. Creak. And then once he knows it's above him, he opens the door. But just to make doubly sure that he doesn't catch a real person out there, watch this shit. Let's just focus on the back of my head. Don't put the camera out there first. Block the vision. Stick your head out.
Someone just out here.
What he's done there, in my opinion, is he heard the footsteps above him and thought, I can use that. Pull the door open, but I'm unsure that there might actually be a person in the corridor, so I'll keep the camera behind me. I'll block the vision just to make doubly sure there is nobody there. There's no one there. Look. And it's also worth noting there is a sign there. We aren't all night owls. There's something else written below it. I did read it earlier. I found a frame where it was a lot clearer. And it basically says, keep the noise down between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. Yet these guys repeatedly keep opening and closing this door all night. And the noise they are hearing is somebody doing the exact same thing. And these guys are claiming it to be a ghost. The people upstairs are probably hearing this door and going, who the fuck is doing that? Shut up. Close the door. He opens his door. It's a ghost. Closes it. The person upstairs is like, who's doing that? It's farcical. And look how creepy that corridor is. How scary. How spooky. How... Looks like a hotel.
There was somebody just out here walking. There's no one here, look.
No, you're not. They were above you.
The whole section's empty. Shut the door.
You're only whispering because you don't want to wake up the people in the next room and above you that we've clearly heard coughing.
See, that's what they say is happening all night.
That's what they say is happening all night. Words from his mouth, yes? There's no claims of that. There's only the claims of the grey lady out the front and then going up against a window and kids running away being scared and potential spottings of a grey lady. Nothing about doors being open and closed that I can find online anywhere. Yet they're making out that those are the claims of this building. You're embellishing quite a bit there. Ramping up the spookies of the video in what doesn't look to be a very scary building at all. Looks like every youth hostel that I've ever seen. Uniform, fire, safety stuff. That it's not creepy. Just because it's not creepy doesn't mean it's not haunted. But you are now going into a narrative of something that has not been reported there that I can find. They started to talk.
Right, so we switched
drop.
to night vision. I've got a REM pod down here on the floor. So if anything comes towards that.
Just as he leans forward to touch that REM pod, you hear a man talking above them.
That will set off. K2 down here. And we're going to run a spirit box session up.
Ooh, joy. Spirit box session. I love spirit box sessions. I don't. I hate them. But played a little game with this earlier. And I'm not going to be able to recreate it because obviously I know the outcome. But I turned away, said what I thought I could share, and then they were putting their stuff on screen. None of it matched up. There was some really very precise hits from Spirit Talker app, though. A little bit too precise.
Is there possibly anybody here that was a servant?
I'll try and do the thing again.
Yeah, for more than one of you.
That wasn't a word at all. That was just a radio station and a blast of music. Your Spirit Box is on too slow a frequency change. Meh.
I'm going to run the app as well.
So you was here. How long ago
George.
was you here? Did you stay here?
Speedo. No. Wake me up. That was George Michael. Wake me up. It stayed on the station long enough for me to hear George Michael say, wake me up. Before you go. Because this investigation's going no.
Yeah.
I'm from the 1800s.
I'm from the 1800s.
Right.
That is very important to this location because it was purchased, rebuilt in the 1800s. They go into all of the history. What a fantastic hit. But the cynic in me, and this isn't me accusing them of anything, the cynic in me is saying, you've helped design and create this application. How do we know you haven't been able to put things like this in there to trigger at this specific location? I'm not accusing. It's a valid question, and it's a question that we should all ask as investigators, as debunkers, and as viewers. It's a little bit on the nose, that. At the same point, go into any haunted location and get an app, say, I'm from the 1800s. Ooh, Victorian ghosts.
That's when it was rebuilt.
That makes sense.
But the 1800s plays a very significant role in the ghost that haunts this place. Has that app broken down time, space, and science, or is potentially there's a little bit of shenaniganery going on? I'm not saying it is, but it's, I don't know.
It was rebuilt in the 1800s.
You're not here to harm you. Let's have a little chat and tell us what your story is.
Nanny. Wouldn't the servants be used as nannies?
Nannies in the UK. Nanny could be a nickname for your grandmother. My grandmother on my mother's side was called Nanny by all of the grandchildren. Nanny is somebody that looks after children on behalf of somebody, and they paid for it. It's related to older people. So the app's spitting out a word like nanny. Most people, especially around my age, don't have any grandparents left. What I liken this application to, oh hell, what I liken this and any application to really is a psychic medium. And I mean a specific type of psychic medium. The ones that are in a bingo hall. I'm getting a male, an older male, first name P. I'm getting a strong letter P. There is a male with a letter P. Hey, she blinked 3 times there. She's registered something. I'm getting lung issues. Fuck, nothing. Ooh, the knees. There's definitely something with the knees. Oh, and it wasn't the lungs. It was the heart. She's blinked again. I've got her. They use general, broad, sweeping statements, look for reactions from people. The people will link their very own real-life things into it. I mean, I've just done it there. How many of you, tell me in the comment section down below, how many of you had a granddad with the initial P is important that had a chest issue or a knee issue? I'll bet there's a few. And I think that's what these apps are playing into.
Yeah.
It's like I just said.
Do you want to come and sit with us and try and communicate? Promise we're here.
No.
I'm not here to do that.
I reminisce here.
Again, a broad, sweeping statement that would apply to anywhere anyone goes with this app for, oh, this place is haunted. A reminisce here. Ooh, that could be linked to a ghost. It's a broad, sweeping statement, but why did they skip "Are you frightened"? They spend this entire investigation towards the latter part saying there's nothing scary here. It's somebody looking after the grounds, looking after the children that visit. And they ignore this but read everything else out. Very strange. Doesn't fit the narrative.
Too right.
It didn't say too right, it said
Did you stay here with a friend?
RAF.
RAF.
rough as fuck. The ghost was rough as fuck. Too many spirits the night before. Oh my god, I'm here all week, ba-bumps and all that shit. I'm very sorry.
Like RAF as in Royal Air Force.
Yeah, we'll have to research that. It might have,
Now this I like.
As them during the war, you know what I mean?
Now this is the little bit that I like. RAF comes through the application and they try to link it, like maybe this was, you know, used in the World War to house soldiers and things, but they actually put on screen. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything with a connection to the RAF, although it was used to house refugees during the Second World War. That's not linked at all to the RAF. However, they have, you know, hey, listen, after the fact, in editing, we have said, nah, nothing to do with the RAF. Very honest of them. And then they balls it up.
You were in the RAF. What rank was you in the RAF?
Fire, which I didn't hear, you'd, nah, and then machine gun sounds. Now, obviously, in editing, they couldn't link this to the RAF, but at the time, they're like, maybe, let's just fucking roll with it. Fire! Do you hear that machine gun fire? No, it wasn't. It was, nah. And then radio stations skipping. And it sounds more rhythmic, I suppose, at a stretch, like gunfire, because it's sweeping too slowly.
Oh, did you just hear that?
Oh.
Did you just hear what that said? Excellent.
Wayne's World, party time, excellent. Woo!
It went, fire! Someone shouted, fire! And then it sounded like a machine gun.
It really didn't. It really didn't. That is beyond anything else that you've tried to stretch to in this. You did really well with a no link to the RAF, so why the hell did you leave this in the video?
On this?
Yes!
I mean, even this guy's like, nope.
War.
War. Alright, fair, but you've already proved that the war had nothing to do with this place. In fact, if you look up the location, the reason it's gone out of business as many times as it has, and the reason it's used as a hostel, is because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's nothing, no amenities, anything around it. The place can't keep the doors open unless it's used as a very cheap hostel. And it is very cheap. I might even go here one day.
Yeah. Were you a pilot?
If this says yes, they've ballsed it, haven't they? It's nothing to do with the RAF. We were a pilot, yes. Proof. Proof that this is a load of shite, I'm afraid, gentlemen. Your own editing has been your undoing, yeah. Listen, I don't know if you guys watch Debunkers. I don't know if you care. I don't. But you come across as very nice guys. You're very pleasant. You're very pleasant in the way you question the spirits. You're very pleasant in the way you investigate. You know, you're not shouting. You're not dude broing. You're not being disrespectful. You come across like really nice guys. But your editing has been an absolute undoing of this section, at the very least. I'm questioning why you hid the location. Is it because you knew some dickhead like me was going to go look and then go, these claims ain't real? Was it you were a little bit worried that somebody would go digging, maybe to go and stay there at the UK's most haunted hostel, and then go, there's barely any information on this thing being haunted at all. In fact, there's only 2 accounts, and you can't substantiate them. One of those accounts is telling somebody else's story that we can't substantiate. This place isn't haunted. Is that why you kind of hid it for as long as you do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Meh. Yes. Bollocks.
You're a pilot. Have you?
Pilot, they're still talking to a ghost that would never have been there for any reason. What's the ghost name?
Mary's
Mary.
there.
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick.
You know I can't resist it. You know I can't. Mary is very relevant to this property. It's quite a great hit as it happens. Fair play. I don't know if that ghost box actually said Mary is, you know, it's a ghost box, put pareidolia, etc. But 1800s, Mary. I mean, come on. How many famous, very famous Marys are there in the UK from the 1800s? I mean, in history, in the UK, Mary. It's a very famous name. Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary, quite contrary. Mary loves Dick. What I'm trying to say is Mary is a massive hit for any haunted location, dating back from, what, the 1600s up until the very early 2000s. Mary was a very popular name for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. I think there's a Mary, lives on my street. Her house is up there.
After doing some research, I was completely blown away. Turns out the estate was sold in 1809 to a David Pike Watts, who had a daughter called Mary. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Mary married a man called Jesse Russell in 1811, but in 1816, both Mary and...
That's not this house, by the way. I don't know where that image came from. Unless that tower's fallen down, because every other picture of this house doesn't have that big tower.
Jessie inherited the mansion after the death of her father. Mary had quite a lot to do with the mansion right up until her death in the year 1840.
Where's that big tower?
So is this Mary who we were talking with? And is it her that people are seeing wandering the mansion grounds and corridors?
One person. Oh, well, I've done a bit of marking. That Mary came through the spirit box, not through the application. Could that have a bit of credibility to it? Yeah, it could. Did they fake that? Absolutely not. You can't control what comes through a spirit box. Are they playing a little bit into pareidolia? Yes. But that is probably the most interesting thing here. But they are the guys that have linked Mary to the Grey Lady, nobody else. The Grey Lady has been described by one person and it was not named. They have made that link. Interesting? Yes. Correct? Probably not. Then we go to 25 minutes later.
Yeah.
25 minutes later, he says, yeah. The last thing we heard through the spirit box 25 minutes ago was yeah. Has it really been 25 minutes? Or has he just sat down and then started recording again? Or maybe he just cut out him moving across the bedroom because every time he stands on that floorboard, it makes a noise that they keep saying is a voice. There is a door slamming. And after the door slamming, you hear a key turning a lock. There's somebody going into the room, unlocking it, or coming out, unlocking it. Very strange at a hostel. But watch these guys' reaction to it.
Usually. Did you hear any footsteps?
Did you hear any footsteps?
No.
Well, we don't know, because you, for some bizarre reason, cut the camera and claimed there was a 25-minute passage of time. But you said, yeah, the last thing that was said 25 minutes ago, and we just basically cut into you going, yeah, and then a door closing. You cut out those footsteps as you moved across the room, probably.
We didn't hear any footsteps and somebody or something.
It's the same noise over and over again.
What, you mean doors? At a hostel? Why would somebody keep opening and closing their door all the time? Must be paranormal. Except you were doing the same thing earlier on. You kept opening and closing your door. They've probably gone in their room, heard you pissing about with a spirit box, and opened the door. Like, what the fuck is that noise? And closed it, and then locked it. And then you go, did you hear that? And then they're like, who the fuck is talking out there?
That's the third time.
That is the third time. Because somebody has gone in there, locked the door, potentially heard you or forgot something, opened the door again, looked outside or grabbed their baggage, put it back in the room, and the door is closed. 1, 2, 3. It is not a ghost. It is somebody hosteling at a hostel, for fuck's sake.
You won't hear the footsteps because it's very clear.
Now let's go check.
Yeah, you'll hear the footsteps because everywhere creaks.
The reason I've laughed is that is the voice they heard earlier. They've just heard it again. It is clearly the floorboard squeaking.
Everywhere creaks.
Oh, it's somebody there.
And that's me creaking on the floorboard.
No, somebody talking.
What are you on about? There was no one talking.
In the defence, the bigger guy, Tom, I believe, is like, what are you on about? It's the floorboard. The other guy is like, no, there's a voice underneath it. Whatever. It's not, it's the floorboard. But earlier on in the investigation, at that exact point on the floor, that floorboard squeaked when he stood on it, and he was like, there's somebody talking. They can't keep the story straight. They can't keep the narrative going. This isn't very good, I'm afraid, gentlemen.
Are you sure?
Yes, there was no one talking, David.
No.
No, there was no one talking.
And again, hey, we're hearing things. Let's wait as long as we can. Right, now let's go. Open the door. But before we put the camera out there to prove to our audience that there is nobody there, I'm going to stick my head out just to make sure the coast is clear, then put the camera out. Ugh. Terrifying location. I mean, look how clean and nice and plain that is. With all this light and...
Again.
It's not an unexplained door slam. You keep opening and closing your door. Somebody else is just doing the same thing. Hey, listen. Hey, this time he put the camera out first. He's getting brave. It's because he knew it came from above him or around the corner, and he's not going to capture anyone on camera. He knows where it's coming from. In my opinion. And the fact that they keep whispering is so that nobody sticks their head out and alerts us to the fact they're not on their own.
So what is it then? Who is it?
I don't know, but it's definitely just somebody staying at a hostel, not a haunted hostel. So, nearly 20 minutes of their video is spent with them reacting to people in a hostel, doing what people in hostels do, and opening and closing doors and coming and going. A spirit box session and an app that they may or may not be able to influence on the spot because there's something to do with their creation. Just saying, not throwing an accusation. We've got to look from all ways. Or is it a ghost opening and closing doors and communicating with them through an application? I mean, how would Mary from the 1800s know to use a phone? I don't know. Asking for a friend. Then they go outside. And this gets really terrifying. It doesn't.
Right, so on the grounds of the old mansion is the creepy church and graveyard.
Hey, look at all them lights in that hostel behind you, meaning there's a lot of people awake in there. There are lights everywhere.
Part of the original mansion.
Look at them. Upstairs, downstairs, everywhere. All across the front. Lights everywhere. Why? Because people ain't in bed yet. Hence why there are doors slamming, people coughing, people talking, people walking about above your head. This bit of footage undoes everything you've already been shitting your pants about.
It's flipping creepy around here.
That does look creepy.
What the hell?
Now, I definitely had a voice, and it definitely said something like, near me, to me, whatever. Do I think it's overlaid? No. But we've already established that they are not that far from a hostel. There's a lot of people awake, opening and closing doors. Could somebody have said something in that very old building that sound is reverberating all the way through, and they've captured it outside? Could it even have just been an animal? Yes. Do they investigate it to prove otherwise? Absolutely not. David. I called him David. Wow. And they don't call that.
David, 1 minute. The camera's going all out of focus. I heard something behind us.
Oh, cameras go out of focus all the time. Every time I investigate, a camera will go out of focus. There's no reasoning or rhyme behind it. It's just night vision. It's a little bit flawed, no matter what camera you use.
The whole time. The whole time we've been in here, I've been seeing things. I like my peripheral vision and stuff.
Yet, you haven't mentioned it once.
I keep seeing things running across there.
I hear you.
Yeah, good.
I hear you. Can hear us talking to each other.
You were going to say you could hear us talking shit there, weren't you? Because that's what you're doing, I'm afraid. Very nice guys, but you're talking absolute shit. And you nearly said it. Yeah, you can hear us talking stuff.
Come and speak to us then.
Go and whisper at them.
Tell us your name.
Ooh, disembodied. No, it's not. It's a fox. I know a fox scream when I hear one. That's exactly what they heard. That's a fox miles away screaming. Easily misconstrued.
Can you come closer towards us?
Maybe the city boys, they've never heard a fox.
We'd love to be able to hear you. Were you buried here, Mary? What was that?
Oh, you hear that?
Yeah. There's no one there, is there?
Unexplained movement. Unexplained movement. Outdoors. It's not unexplained. It's nature. Things move in nature, which is why I don't particularly like outdoor investigations. I'll do them on occasion, especially in a nice creepy place. But, you know, you can't just be like, that's an unexplained noise. It wasn't like somebody made a huge bang right by the side of you, behind you or anything. It's something shuffling outdoors.
Were you buried here, Mary? What was that?
Oh, you hear that?
Yeah. There's no one there, is there?
And then we get to the pièce de la résistance, or the ultimate shit. The disembodied voice we captured next has completely blown my mind. I have been listening to it for the last 10 minutes, and it just goes to show how people misinterpret spirits and entities wanting to scare people, when really they just want someone they can reach out to and share this story. 10 minutes, and you even go into misinterpretation. And after 10 minutes, you can't tell that this is a fucking dog barking. I mean, Jesus Christ.
A lot of people that you've scared at this location, including a group of children, which I believe you went up to their window. Were you just trying to reach out, Mary?
Oh.
I don't think you intentionally meant to scare them.
Ruff, ruff. I'm sorry. He heard that. He looked in the direction of it. Didn't react to it because he knew it was a dog barking. Yet, whoever edited this video at the pair of them, I'm guessing the younger guy, has gone, I can get away with that. I'm sorry. Fits the narrative. Definitely not a dog bark. But I'll even have the cheek to throw the word misinterpretation in there. What a tit. they say at the beginning of the video they're going to record all night and they'll show you, and that doesn't happen. Listen, they seem like quite nice guys. They do. I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to, say they're horrible people and all the rest of it. But are they legitimately paranormal investigating? Absolutely not. Now, you could say, hey, Beardo, while you got your opinions on this, that, the other, you haven't really debunked them, so you couldn't say add them to the list for being fake off the basis of that video. Well, I can, because it's my list. But we require something a bit more tangible, a bit more strong, because if you're going to say, oh, that's bullshit, I'm putting you on the list, it better be something good. Show them, Doodle. I'm not going to show the video. I want you to go and watch Debunking with Doodle. A link will be in the description below. See this guy with a very, very big red mark on his neck? Earlier on in the video, he does this. One of them turns, whilst the guy is looking at him, says, you got a red mark on your neck. Have you scratched yourself? And he goes, no. And then they spend ages saying that he's been scratched by something at the Ancient Ram Inn. He scratched himself. They caught it on camera. They were too stupid to edit it out, which is... How have you got 104,000 subscribers when you're like, uh-oh, he's just clearly scratched his neck, then claimed it hasn't been scratched, but we leave it all in and hope nobody notices. Go check out Doodle's debunk on it. It is epic. And also, earlier on in the video, there's a DR60 session. Yes, these guys, a year later, after the video I've just looked at, have gone full send and bought a DR60, which is enough for me to say, you know that thing don't work, you know that ain't real, you know you're manipulating evidence, therefore it's fake. But Doodle actually shows him dragging his finger across the back of the DR60 to create more noises, claims it says David's name, and she lines it all up, and there it is, all singing, all dancing. So with Doodle's help, which I would like you to go and subscribe to, that is enough proof that, in fact, haunted finders are fake, and... Now I'm pissed. My Ghostbusters pen broke. But it's okay. I got another one. You just made the list. Welcome to the list of Beardo's bullshittery with Ghost Tech Paranormal, Franco TV, Mackie and Amanda, Sam and Colby, Fear Tales, Twin Paranormal, Paranormal Nightmare, and now Haunted Finders. You're welcome. It's quite an elite list. Still pissed about my pen. I mean, all the other bits are under my desk. But, hey, luckily, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Don't go giving them hate. Don't go being nasty. Don't even go giving them negativity. Because we'll only get the blame for it as a community. But, yeah, ultimately, I think they're full of shite. Wasn't really an enjoyable investigation. However, they do seem like nice guys. They're not dude broing, they're not screaming and jumping and shouting and blaming a demon for everything. They're not as high up the list as some. Let me know what your thoughts are. Much love to you all. Beardo, out.